Hello, good evening and happy new year to everybody watching out there in Essex birding land. Hi Steve, how are you?
Good, thank you, Matt. Happy New Year to you.
Yeah.
Only a month since New Year Day, but who cares?
I was going to say, it seems a little bit late in the year to be saying Happy New Year already, but you know, it just goes so quickly, doesn't it? It really does.
Do you know what? It's what's it, a month since our last show, and it's flown by. Absolutely
flown by.
Yeah, crazy.
Before we start, apologies if my head looks really big and massive, but I've got a new camera. My camera broke last night, so hopefully this one will work and not break. And if it does all go funny, Steve has already promised me he's going to fill in admirably and do the show on his own. So you might have that to look forward to.
I've got my ukulele, my mouth organ, and a drum kit over here on the side, so I can do a bit of,
Fantastic. You just need a little cap so that people can chuck a few virtual 20p's in there. You'll be well away.
I have a GoFundMe page to keep me quiet.
Oh, what's coming up tonight? What are we doing tonight?
Oh, what are we doing? Well, yeah, so it's been a busy month bird news wise. Lots of happening in the county. Every January, everyone's keen and out birding, get their year lists off to a running start. So we've got lots of bird news, which is good. We've had lots of what's the word I was going to say? People sending in photographs, haven't we, Matt?
Yeah, we've had loads of photos. So we've got probably 60 plus photographs to show tonight. So first of all, we just won't have time to show everybody's photo, but we're showing some from everybody, and we're going to kind of flick through them and go through them all later on. But it's really great that you're all sending them in. Thank you. We've got another John's mindful moment coming later on as well. Another video just before the break. We're asking you guys how many birds you've seen so far this year. So if you want to put it in the chat, that would be good to share, and we'll reveal what we're on later on. I'll let Steve go first, and if he's on too high a number, I might not reveal mine, but we'll see later. And the other thing we're asking is, did you get anything good for Christmas that was bird related? Okay, so I got a couple of really good bits, and I've left them in the other room, so I'll pick them up at the break if I remember.
Okay. I got something bird related. I got one. I only got one Christmas present this year.
Who was that from, Steve?
And that was from you.
Oh, was it?
I got this lovely book.
Well, to be fair, there is a little bit of a story behind that. You nearly didn't get that book.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because I bought it and I looked at it carefully. You know, when you look at a book really carefully, you don't want to crease the pages and stuff. And I was looking at it, and then I kept looking at it, and I thought, I really like this book. And I'd got it home by then, so I couldn't get my own one. So I then spent about 10 minutes looking on my bookshelf to see if I could find you something different to give you. I couldn't. So you got it anyway.
You're such a good mate, you are.
Oh, thanks, mate. But if it goes missing, if your house gets broken into and that's the only thing that gets stolen, you know it was me. All right.
You got a witness there, everyone. Thank you.
Right. Okay. So how can people contact us? It's the usual method. So for anyone that's not aware, if you're logged into YouTube with a Gmail account, you can comment in the chat. And I know a lot of people are doing that already. And you can also email us at ebwstalks@gmail.com. So ebwstalks@gmail.com. And what's the Facebook, Steve?
Yeah, so we're on, if you just search on the Essex Birdwatching Society Facebook page, it's EBWS Info, it's the page, and you can send us a direct message on there, or use the chat, YouTube chat as well. Yeah, so it's all lots of ways of contacting us tonight.
Absolutely. And if you're on YouTube and you haven't subscribed to our channel, just subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and you'll be able to keep abreast of everything that we're doing. We don't just do this show, we put other things on there, guides and site guides. We're planning more site guides this year as well, some ID guides and bits and pieces. So there's always something going on. And talking about subscribing, if you go to the EBWS homepage, you can scroll to the very bottom and you can subscribe to our mailing list as well. And we'll then tell you everything that's going on with the society, field trips, indoor meetings, and all sorts of things, isn't there? There's loads going on.
Yeah, it's lots of stuff going on. We've got about 386 subscribers on YouTube, so it'd be nice if we could finish off tonight with about 400.
Yeah, 387. Yeah,
maybe 400. Let's go 400.
So yeah, we've got Simon Wood coming up. Simon is coming up very shortly. He's going to be talking about the Chelmer Blackwater Nature Reserve, which is a very exciting new project. I'll leave him to tell you all about it. But it's quite an exciting project that the Society are involved with as well. We're doing all the usual roundup for sightings. We've got lots of photos, as we said. We're going to talk about field trips, indoor meetings, a couple of websites to watch. And Steve reckons he's got one that's going to catch me out. So really looking forward to that. That's when my camera's going to go wrong, by the way. All right.
Doesn't matter. Don't need a camera for it.
Yeah, literally, you'll be saying, what you got to do here? And I'll be just gone like that. Okay. And we're the winter photo competition as well. So we've got a winter photography competition. The details are on the website. We'll share that later on. But the entries close on the 11th of February. So anything bird related that's been taken since the 1st of November, I think, and the 11th of Feb, you can enter. Got a couple of appeals first of all, haven't we? If I share the first one, find it.
Yeah, we have.
So where are we?
So good evening to everyone that's watching on. It's put in the chat tonight on YouTube. Got lots of
who have we got?
Well, we've got lots. We've got Richard Chu. Good evening, Richard. Pete Dwyer, our membership secretary, is tuned in.
Hi, Pete.
We've got Ollie Cottis, Martin Gathercole, Paul Everett, Kathy Hoskins, Paul Daughtry, Brian Cox. I don't think it's the Brian Cox. In fact, I know it's not the Brian Cox.
It's a Brian Cox.
It's a Brian Cox. In fact, every Brian Cox is lovely.
All Brian Coxes are equal. That's our motto.
Vince Briggs, Dave Webb, Tim Hayward, and Graham Lawrenson. So good evening, everyone, and thanks for watching.
Evening all. Right, we've got appeals. So we've got 3 appeals. The first one is this little one, which I don't know if you can you see that on the screen there, Steve?
Yeah, that's all good, mate.
Okay. Do you want to explain about this?
Yeah, so there's an appeal. This gyrfalcon has been lost. It was last seen in January, 17th of January. And the owners are appealing for its whereabouts, really. So if you're out birding or you know anyone that may well have seen this bird, I mean, it's quite unmistakable bird that, there's contact details on the website here. So you'll be able to look back on tonight's show and get the number. But yeah, so we're looking for anyone that's seen this bird.
Yeah, there's a mobile number on there, 07811 464 097. The reason we're sharing this is a lady actually emailed the society directly asking if we can remind people just to keep a lookout for the bird. And I've never seen one, but they're almost buzzard size, aren't they? It's a big bird.
Yeah, these are big. Yeah, these are big. So this is the white morph. So they're completely obvious if you're out birding. Nothing much else like this.
And from the pictures, it looks like it's quite confiding as well. So if you see one of these and you can get, if you see one, it's the one. So yeah, just phone the sighting in. That would be great.
Yeah, much appreciated.
Okay, that's that. Second appeal, we've got an appeal from Pete, actually, haven't we? Pete is,
yeah. So obviously, January the 1st. So we hope that everyone's watching is a member of the Birdwatching Society. And membership renewal is always due on January the 1st. So if you're not a member, please join, and we'll be talking about that a little bit later. But if you are a member and haven't renewed, now's your time to do so. So the details are all on the website. Very simple to renew, or if you've got, just double check you've got a standing order. Very, very simple to do. Hopefully, Matt's.
Here we go. You can literally just log into the website. You can click join renew at the top here, goes to the membership page. You can then scroll down. I won't go through the process, but you click join now. And when you enter your details, that's what's going to link your renewal into your current membership. So just to clarify, there's no specific renew option on here, but as it goes through, we pick up the fact that you're renewing. And then the payment details are on the final screen. And if you want to pay by backs payment or a standing order, that's something that we give you our account details and you then set that up with your bank. But I do mine by standing order now. It goes out on the 1st of January and it's really easy.
Me too. Yeah.
Good. And then the third appeal was from Mick Tracy. So Mick Tracy is the county recorder. And I think last year Mick dealt with well, it was last year, but in 2021, we had 330,000 records that Mick processed last year and forwarded through to all the sub-editors for the Essex Bird Report. He's expecting that we're going to get more records for 2022 because things are looking that way. So he's asked if everyone can send their records. If you haven't sent your records in yet for last year, and some people enter them all in one batch, please can you send them in as soon as possible. And if you've got any rarities, don't forget to add descriptions, sketches or photographs if you've got them. So they can all be sent in directly to the society or to Mick directly. And I think the details again are on our website.
Everything's on the website, yeah. And to say, without your records, we don't produce the bird report. So they're very, very important. But 330,000 for 2021 is pretty impressive, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I reckon we can beat that in 2022. I'm sure of it.
I can't see why not. To be fair, I can't see why not. Got any more messages on the chat, Steve?
No, Nick Eldred says hi all. And then we've got someone, I'm not even going to be able to pronounce the username, but whoever they are, let us know what your proper name is. I think they did last time. I can't remember who it was, but
oh yes, that was yeah, I remember that. Yep. Oh, and 101 species so far. Wow, that's good.
Good. And 97 in Essex. So
excellent.
I reckon this is the weekend to get your 100 for Essex.
Definitely.
Weather's looking good. Yes.
Take a day off work tomorrow if you do go to work and get your 100th bird up tomorrow. But don't tell your boss we told you to do that because we'll be in trouble. Okay, so we're going to share a couple of web pages, aren't we? We've got the first one is a bit of fun actually. Let's just have a look at this. This is on Twitter, and you may have already seen this. This was actually posted by somebody, Wesley Fagan, I think the name is. So well done, Wesley, for capturing this. And I'm assuming this is just a table webcam set up on this feeder.
Yep.
But if you watch this siskin, one of these siskins, I think it might be the one on the left, but if you just watch, you'll see.
That is the most aggressive. I think it needs to go to anger management classes.
I mean, it's chasing off marsh tit, great tit, blue tit, bullfinch, coal tit. I think there might have been a chaffinch in there as well, I'm not sure. Basically anything that lands. I mean, bullfinches are twice as big as the siskin and it's just chasing them all off.
Do you know what's amazing, Matt? Is
the bullfinch underneath has given up and it's just eating underneath now, isn't it?
Do you know what? It's so agile and it doesn't hit those wire, hanging bits there at all. It's just
it's superb. And the thing is, if it spent less time chasing other birds and more time just eating in its own little bit, there you go, it's Luke now, then it wouldn't need to eat so much food. But that just made me laugh. So I thought we'd share that.
No, that's nice. Like that.
There's another few little newsy type web pages, just quite interesting ones. What we're going to do, we'll put links to these onto, when we re-upload this show, we'll put links in the description. So if anyone actually wants to read these, or you can find them on Bird Guides, obviously. So credit to Bird Guides for these, thank you. But the first one is the world's most unique bird species are in worst danger of extinction. And I think it's basically saying that birds that have adapted to specific habitats or specific food types by, evolving strange shaped bills and feet and so on and so forth, they're the ones that are most in danger. And I presume it must be down to loss of habitat, I would imagine, don't you reckon?
I would almost certainly say so, yeah. Well, it's certainly a big factor in it.
So it's just quite an interesting article. If anyone wants to look that up, that's quite an interesting read.
Okay, I'll read that.
Yeah. The next one is a bit topical because we're working quite closely. And I know Mark at the RSPB is working closely with local farmers. And there's actually now a survey been done and it's been proven that if 10% of farmland is given back to nature, the farmland birds can really bounce back very well. So birds such as yellowhammer and, as you can see, lapwing and so on and so forth. So again, it's a really nice article to read, and work is ongoing with this to encourage farmers to become more biodiverse, and hopefully that will be something that will show some really good success in the future.
Absolutely. No, well done.
It'd be a shame to lose our farmland birds, wouldn't it? Really would.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I was out yesterday and we had a nice big flock of like 30, 40 yellowhammers, and it's just amazing to see, and we'd hate to lose these birds.
Well, I think you were saying the other day you used to get flocks of hundreds of yellowhammers in Essex, didn't you?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. If you look back into the Essex bird report for 30, 40 years ago, and tree sparrows and
Next page, just really quickly. This is basically it just made me go, oh, so anything that makes me go, oh, has to go on the show. And this is Little Tern. A Little Tern, there were at least 17 Little Tern chicks fledged up in Aberdeenshire, which if you think about the effect that bird flu has had on particularly obviously the seabird population,
yeah,
some of the tern colonies were decimated, weren't they? So the Little Terns to be doing well is good. And how cute. Have you ever seen a fledged Little Tern?
No. No, I haven't. I don't think.
Cute.
I'm sure I have.
Anyway, right, that's that one. So again, another nice one to have a quick read through it. And the final one, woodcock has the brightest feathers ever measured. So I think it's saying the tail feathers of a woodcock are brighter, believe it or not, than the plumage of a snowy owl and Arctic redpoll. And the article is basically saying, obviously, they display at dusk and dawn, and the tail feathers, as you can see here in this photograph, very prominent as they're doing their display flight. And I guess that's why they're so bright. But
I never knew that.
Yeah, and that kind of ties in with the peregrine talk, didn't we, a couple of months ago? And it was saying that peregrines are hunting woodcock at night time, and I guess it's because the artificial light is catching those bright feathers so well. So there you go, just a few websites to share.
It's really good.
Hope people find them interesting. And we've had something in the post, haven't we, Steve?
Have we?
We have.
Yes. Sorry. Yes, thinking what have we had in the post? Yes, the new copy.
Not those fancy red letters saying "pay now or else." No, not that. I get loads of those. Yeah.
I'm used to getting.
They go in the bin. Yeah.
Brand new, hot off the press, Essex Birding magazine.
Yes.
Absolutely cracking read. So
just wanted to really say congratulations to Greg Hope, who's the editor of the journal. Another really good publication. Great read. Swallowtail have done an excellent job putting it all together for us. So hopefully members have got that on their doorstep by now, or if not, you're going to get it in the next day or two. Yeah, and non-members, look what you're missing.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nice. Right. Nice picture. So the mystery username is Stanley Davis. Good evening, Stanley.
Oh, hi, Stanley. Hi, how you doing?
Which is good. Thanks for making that right. And then Nick Eldridge said, if he records sightings on BTO Bird Track, does the EBS have access to this? And the answer is yes, we do. So people like eBird and Bird Track, which is the BTO's recording program, we have access to their database. So anything you submit, I mean, obviously it's better if you submit them straight to us, but we do get all your records by those other means. So whichever way you record, keep on doing it.
Yep. And if you do record using eBird or Bird Track, what we ask is that if you get the time, if you can put your key sightings onto our website directly,
yep.
For the simple reason being that we get those records, but we don't get them until much later on. So for the report, it's absolutely fine. But for people seeing what's out there, they won't necessarily see them. So put your key sightings onto our website. And there is a little box when you enter your sightings that you can say that you've duplicated the sightings elsewhere, so that Mick and his team don't count them twice. So yeah, please do that. Right, we had a field trip this month, didn't we?
We did, back a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? 2 Sundays ago. We had a nice.
Where did we go, Steve?
Well, we went to the Brecks. So we went to Suffolk Wildlife Trust Lackford Lakes, which is just northwest of Bury St Edmunds, and then we went up to Linford Arboretum. So we did Suffolk and then over the border into Norfolk to Linford, and we had a really good day. Fantastic turnout of people. The coach was chock-a-block again, which was good, and a few people joined us at the site, didn't they? Drove directly.
Yes, yeah. And we saw some pretty good birds, didn't we? I think the first thing that amazed me at Lackford, was we saw quite a few of these, didn't we?
We did. It was snipe-tastic. I think I just made that up. It's not a real word.
I think that should be a real word, to be fair.
But yeah, we had. One scan. There were at least 25 just in one little scan. And I'm sure there will probably double that. To be honest, that's a lovely photo, Matt. Really nice.
Well, this gives an idea of how close they were, to be fair, because if you look, I focused on the two at the back, but they were so close that the depth of field means that the three at the front were actually out of focus. They were just in front of the hide, weren't they?
Yeah, they were amazing, weren't they?
And to start with, you almost can't see them. And then when you get your eyes adjusted for a second, you're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then they're everywhere, aren't they? Amazing.
Yeah. And then when you think about those sort of the plumage of a snipe, you know, you've got these sort of gold stripes and blotches, and when you look at that part of reeds, that cut reed there, just looks like you can see why they blend in so well.
Well, I think Jan Lewis saw the first one because he actually saw it bobbing, and for I think a split second he was hopeful it was jack snipe, but obviously it turned out to be common snipe. But yeah, the common snipe do bob, not as often as jack, but they do bob, don't they?
Yep. Yeah. So it's not the only feature of jack snipe. So yeah, so Matt said common snipe do bob. So but there, yeah, that was good, wasn't it? And and the weather was pretty good as well.
It was really good. And next up, we got some nice views of Little Grebe. So the Blackford is quite a long sort of spread out reserve, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we split into small groups, and there were some nice little grebes up the east end, just in front of one of the hides. And the sort of feeding tree thing in the middle proved quite good, didn't it?
Yeah, there's a sort of an old stump in the middle of the reserve that people put bird food and stuff down. So we had some really nice views of some of the woodland birds. So like this coal tit that Matt's photographed here is really, really nice. And you just get some great views of the common species. That's a really nice shot, that is.
Just peeking his head round the corner there, and obviously came out a bit later on.
Yeah, that's nice, beautiful, that is. Yeah, nuthatch, yeah.
And then obviously the other species you get, this was actually on to Linford, this one. So on the left here, we've got a marsh tit, which they've got those concrete posts at Linford, haven't they, on the bridge, which people put food on?
Yeah, it's good. It's a good place. If you go to Linford Arboretum, take a bag of food with you, a bag of bird seed. And there's a couple of like parapets down by the paddocks. Got a bit of food there, and marsh tits. I mean, you know, up to 4 or 5 marsh tits will come down, nuthatch. Yeah, it's just great. Great to get views of some of these lovely woodland birds.
Definitely. But there was one species we were looking for, of course, and there was a group of like 50 of us, and we're all scanning for this species. And obviously the first person to find it was Steve. And he's looking up in the sky like a million miles away, and all of a sudden, Hawfinch, here it comes. There was a Hawfinch in flight, and it landed. I mean, this is a cropped full zoom photo, so they weren't particularly close, but we got some lovely scope views, I must say.
We did, yeah.
And how many did we have in them? Was it 5?
5, yeah. And this was a new bird for quite a few people, so that was always nice. Always great to see a new bird, isn't it? You know, and as Matt said, although the views weren't particularly close, we had quite a prolonged views of them, so that was nice, getting the scope.
And the good thing for anyone that's not been on our field trips is there are several people who've got scopes. Steve and I always bring our scopes, and we're all really happy to, you know, share them and give people good views of some of these birds. So if you haven't got a scope, don't feel you can't come along. You know, we'll let you share and get to see the birds.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Anything on the messages, and then we'll bring Simon in, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, people have with their year list totals. So
okay.
Yeah, we've got Kathy Hoskins is on 37 species so far, but she lives in Birmingham.
Oh, well done.
And she said she can't wait to get back to Essex in March, so that'd be good. So, but if you're about in March and fancy joining us on one of our field trips, Kathy, please do. It'd be lovely to see you. Richard Chew is Essex Birding arrived this week. Amazing publication, and he says well done to all involved for putting it together. And absolutely, yeah, great team that do that, including Matt. Matt's involved with that as well. Yeah,
it's a good team effort, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, Brian Cox, he said Essex Birding arrived this week. Fantastic read, and he's on 63 species so far this year.
Well done. Well done.
Richard Chew is on 79, but all of his trips will be either on foot or by bus or train.
Oh, well done.
Good.
Yeah. Really good.
All that sort of dashing around everywhere. Oh, crikey, we've got loads now.
That's it. While you're reading through them, I'll bring Simon in so he can unmute himself. So
yeah, okay. So Martin Gathercole's on 114.
Who was that? Sorry,
Martin Gathercole's on 114.
Oh, well done, Martin.
He's pretty good. Dave Webb's on 67. Stanley Davis saw 1 Hawfinch on the 14th at Linford.
Excellent.
And then we'll just quickly whip through. Vince Briggs is on 82 for the county. Ollie Cottis is on 125, of which 113 is in Essex.
Very good.
And then Paul Daughtry is on 87. So that's good. Good January totals. That is really good.
Excellent. And I hope you've been adding all those up, Steve, because I want a grand total in a minute.
Okay, that's not going to happen, is it?
Hi, Simon.
We've got,
Evening, all.
Oh, sorry, Steve.
Simon.
Evening.
How you doing up there?
All right. Yeah. Up in Norfolk. Yeah. Yeah. No, we've had a good week. The weather's been glorious. Very cold, but glorious. But birds have been a bit hard to get. But no, it's just been lovely up here. Just very nice. Some amazing dawn sunrises, ice on everything. Just stunning.
Lovely.
It's been unusual for the last week or so not to be blowing a gale everywhere, because everywhere you go out it's like 30-mile-an-hour winds, and it's been so calm this week. It's been really good. It's
been really unusual for North Norfolk to walk along the coast and not have a whisper of wind, and that happened for 4 or 5 days running.
Really good.
It's quite an experience. Stunning. Makes up, as I say, for if the birds aren't quite playing ball. So, yeah.
Do you think that's maybe because the wind's not blowing them in so much, or is it just luck of the draw a little bit?
I think in part it's a bit of luck of the draw, but I think the very mild early part of the winter, I think, has had a big effect on what's around now. I think that's probably the main factor. My slight worry is avian flu, of course, whether that has impacted certain species, and we're not seeing as many as we should be, but the jury's out on that, obviously, at the moment. But I certainly think the mild early parts of the winter just meant a lot of stuff either didn't move at all, or it didn't come this way. It went a different route, because it didn't need to come this way. Time will tell.
For those of you out there that don't know Simon, Simon Wood is the Society President, and tell us a little about your birding background.
My birding background. Well, I've known nothing but birding, I think, all my life. I've birded. I started at a very early age, well, an extremely early age, as you can see. Look at the knees. I've still got those knees.
Have you still got the sandals? That's what I want to know.
I've still got the sandals, come to that matter.
Brilliant.
But you'll know I am holding the binoculars the right way, even at that age. But yeah, I've been a birder all my life. I mean, I grew up. I lived near to the late Jeff Pyman, who was obviously one of the founders of the Essex Wildlife Trust, or Essex Naturalist Trust as it was then. And who was also an important member of the British Birds Rarities Committee, if you look at on a national scale, so to speak. I also did some wardening in my late teenage years at Colne Point, and learnt a lot with the late Reg Arthur, who was the then NCC Coast Warden. So I've always gone birding. I twitched a bit in my mid-20s, but I think I soon began to realise I didn't like the time driving, and I've become a bit more of a local bird watcher, and very much a local bird watcher now. I guess most people will, well, I hope most people listening tonight have heard of the Birds of Essex. That's my legacy. That was published in 2007. Which, believe it or not, is 16 years ago this year.
Wow.
What I like about it is it's a brilliant read, and also if you keep it by the side of your bed, if anyone breaks into your house, look at the size of that.
That's right.
No chance.
That's right. And you can it's also quite useful for getting to things on high shelves. You can put it on the top. You can reach stuff on the top shelf. So yeah, I mean, that was a 9-year epic. But that's a brief summary of who I am. That's how I ended up as president, I guess.
A lot of good work there, Simon. Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
So what happened down in the Chelmer Blackwater area then?
Well, it's an interesting story. I'll try and keep it brief, really. I didn't actually get involved until, I've got to get my years right, because we're in 2023 now, aren't we? I didn't get involved in until 2021, but in 2020, this piece of land, which all the locals have known as a sort of marshy, grassy reedbed area, suddenly had for sale signs on it, industrial development for sale 1.5 million. And to cut a long story short, the community interest company was formed. Tesco's were approached, who were the ultimate owners, and asked what's going on. And they said, well, we don't know what's going on. We're selling this land to a company who are going to use it as part of their green portfolio. We told them about the signs, and they immediately said, well, no, and pulled the rug on that deal because they were being scammed. It went into negotiations with Tesco, and ultimately the community interest company got a 100-year lease at a peppercorn rent, which began in end of January last year, so pretty much a year ago today. So that's effectively how we were formed. So we've been going a year, and in that time we have raised about £90,000.
Good grief, well done.
And put in new boardwalks, bridge and footpaths, put together a management plan, and are basically developing the site, which is never going to be a Minsmere. You know, I've got to point that out. It is, you know, it's a little edge of urban site, half reedbed, half grassland, but with a lot of potential. But we're developing it as a community asset that hopefully we can use to, you know, sort of educate the public on our wildlife. You know, get schools involved and this sort of thing. So that's basically what we're doing.
So shall we have a quick look where it is? Sorry, Simon. There we go.
Yeah, no, fine.
Yeah.
So looking at this this plan, the number one, probably for ease of use, that number one is effectively where Tesco's is in Malden, the big Tesco's superstore in Malden. And to visit the site, you simply drive all the way through their car park to the back edge of the car park by the seawall, park up there, walk up onto the seawall, and walk west towards the bridge that carries the bypass over the River Chelmer.
Is that kind of over this way?
That's correct.
That's the bridge there, yeah.
Okay. There it is to your right as you walk towards the bypass, and it's about 5.5 acres, about 50% grassland and 50% reedbed. And this is a fantastic aerial view, and I must compliment. We have a guy called Simon Farr, who I must mention, who is a drone operator, and he does all the fantastic aerial shots for us free of charge. So
Nice.
you know, if you need a drone operator, Simon Farr's your man. Anyway, he's done a lot of these as we've began to develop the site. This is a picture. He's effectively hanging over the Malden bypass here. And he's looking east, and in the far distance you can just make out the car park around Tesco's. And so what you can see, you can sort of make out the areas. You've got grassland in the elbow, if you like, of the reserve, and some scrub down this bottom edge, which we've actually been clearing because it's coming over the grassland a bit too much. And then at the back, you can see a big long line of willows, big tall willows, and that's in front of that is all the reedbeds. So that's basically what the site is. And it's got, I don't know whether you can see through that reedbed, you can see what appears to be a straight line. That's it.
Channel going down here, yeah.
Yeah, and that's a channel. That's called the Kingsmere, which is a drainage channel. And our plan for that is to put some meanders back into it, because until the late 50s, early 60s, that actually meandered out to the sluice on the seawall.
Okay.
So if we move on to the next photo, I think, there we go. This is, again, looking east. We're a bit closer to Tesco's, and you can see what we've done. This was what we did up until Christmas, which was our end of our phase one, and it was essentially three areas there. You've got a path that comes down off the top of the seawall, which is a sloping disabled access. Then you've got a path goes off through the reed bed, that's it, which connects to the canal footpath and also to the sloping disabled access. And then you've got the boardwalk, and we've put the boardwalk and that bridge in, and that was our phase 1. We've now completed that, and we've also completed a phase 2, which is that star, which is the a viewing platform, which has been very kindly funded by the society itself, by the Essex Birdwatching Society. So we've got a platform in there. We've got to do a bit of clearance yet of reed around that and keep that clear during the summer. And the plan is to put a pond area in front of it at some point as well. And that will become an area that we use for education, hopefully, getting school children in and everything.
Is the pond kind of going down here?
Yeah,
or
we're going to put something in there is the plan.
Okay.
It may be an enlarged inlet, or we've just got to work that out still. We've been a bit of a victim of our own success, really, because we've done far more than we ever envisaged in this first year, and we're having to think about things almost as we're doing them now, rather than normally you'd have a plan and you think, oh, that's going to take that long, which is what we had, but we've got ahead of it all, which is good.
We went and saw this, didn't we, Steve? At this pretty much at this stage.
Yeah, the society committee. We had a visit there. Simon arranged for us to have a visit there to see the work he was doing, and whether it was suitable for us to donate towards. And you know what? It was cracking. And the weather was pretty ropey from what I remember.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
In fact, it was the most atrocious Sunday morning.
Yeah,
I think it's been for about a year, but the site was really, really good. There's so much potential there, wasn't there? It was just really good.
I think the thing that struck me as well, the boardwalk it's made from like is it a recycled sort of plasticky stuff?
It's a dense recycled plastic, and if anyone has been up to places like Titchwell in recent years, you'll see that there. That's what they've used, and we purposely went for that. It costs a lot more, but your longer term running and maintenance costs are much lower. So that's what we've gone for. Far more difficult to burn as well, unfortunately.
Well,
we have to think about that. But just if you look at that,
sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
Hang on, go back. Sorry.
He's got ahead of himself. Like our plan.
Trigger finger.
Yeah. If you look at the bridge, we've actually extended the boardwalk now, and it actually, that's it. It goes through there. Yeah. To sort of where you got to, and then it will pick up a gravel footpath that we're putting in that will go all along across the grassed area. So if you go back to the previous photo, so that will then cut across that flat grass area.
Oh, okay. That kind of roughly across here, sort of thing. Yeah.
And that will come out. I don't know whether you can see, but there's a black line. That's it. You're on it. Yep. That's a public footpath, and it will meet that public footpath as well.
Okay.
So there'll be a full route all the way through. You can get all the way around it all as well then.
And you can get to the public footpath from the seawall as well, I think, can't you? Is that correct?
You can, yes. So you can walk all the way around the outside as well.
Yes, you could walk along here, cut through the middle, or you could go whichever way you wanted to, couldn't you?
That's it, yeah. That's it. So that's where we are at the moment. We've also been doing, so if you flip forward to the general photos, we've also been doing some scrub clearance. So if you look at this photo, for instance, far left, we've already taken out quite a bit of scrub there.
Okay.
And if you go along to the next photo, you can. This is all being cleared of scrub. That whole area.
This was all scrubbed before, all over here.
Scrub. So what we've done is we've identified that this is quite a good area for what appears to be a low nutrient grassland.
Okay.
So we're working on clearing that and keeping it clear. And also the bank that you can see is the northern edge of the Borrow Dyke, and that is south facing. and very crumbly. And we believe that's going to be very good for invertebrates. So we're already working on improving the biodiversity of the site as well. Early days, but we've started that. So we're very active on site doing that as well. And that's all been volunteer work. The boardwalks and things, we've raised money and had contractors into do those, because that we felt was something that it needed companies that knew what they were doing to do. And in fact, Pearl have been doing that, who do a lot of work down at Rainham, among other places. So yeah, it's been a huge community effort, really. You know,
stupendous.
It's just our first year.
What sort of come back to the main screen? What sort of species have you been? Because I guess you've been kind of recording stuff as you've been going.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't done a huge amount in the first year, partly because most of our site visits ended up as being visits to meet contractors, possible grant givers, this sort of thing. But we pretty sure cuckoo bred on site, all the warblers you'd expect, you know, both white throats, I think chetties possibly, song thrush bred. There's potential, I think, for nightingale if we get it right. We've got that's why we eased off. We were going to take a lot more of the scrub out, but actually we decided in the northwest corner to keep more than we were originally keeping there, just in the hope of nightingale. I think the hope of turtle dove is gone now.
Okay.
But yeah, we've got reed warbler in there. Haven't had sedge warbler yet, but there's possible sedge warbler. We've got kestrel regularly, so I reckon a kestrel box, because it's really good. Huge numbers of field vole. A lot of, I don't think I've ever seen so many common lizard on a site as we've got there. And other than that, you know, we've got green hair streak butterfly on there, mother Shipton dayfly moth, burnet companion moth. We found what else have we found? Oh yeah. Hello, that's Carla. What the site has got a lot of in the grasslands is big anthills, which suggests longevity of the site being grassland. So that we found lots of yellow meadow ants and their anthills. And another insect, southern bush cricket, southern oak bush cricket, which is a relatively new arrival.
So does that mean that it was historically grassland, you think, and the scrub's kind of overtaking it and you're trying to put it back to what it was, basically?
Yes, we feel that a lot of it, I mean, historically it was grazed. There's pictures of it into the 1960s with cows on it. So I doubt it's ever been treated with anything. And I think that particularly up towards the bypass, which was the railway end, it does seem that the geology, the soil is slightly different to the rest of the site, bit more sandy, slightly less nutrient rich. So we're hopeful that we'll get some interesting stuff there.
Excellent.
A lot of potential, a lot of work still. But
what's the sort of, I mean, how long does it take before a site like this really starts to kind of grow? Is it years or decades? Or
when you say grow, you mean that you a clear change in the biodiversity?
Coming to its own, so to speak.
I would have thought we're looking at 5 to 10 years before we see something really, you know, because where we've taken all of the blackthorn out, for instance, you've got masses of suckers and things you're going to have to keep on top of. It's a classic suckering species, so every year we're going to have to keep on and that. Eventually we'll get on top of it. The rabbits will continue our job as well. And but 5 to 10 years, I think, being realistic. But I
think we've got some questions, haven't we, Steve?
We have. Paul Everett says, Simon, do Tesco place any restrictions on parking?
No, you should be all right. The only thing I would say is if you're going to be there more than 4 hours, then probably the best thing to do is let me know and let me know their number, and I can pre-warn them, and that person would then have to go in and book in. There is a system for booking your cars in.
Good.
But up to 4 hours, you're all right anyway.
Okay.
We have authority for the parking, so you're fine. But if you're going to go over 4 hours, which is unlikely if you're going to the site, unless you're working on it. If it's just a general visit to have a look round, 4 hours will be plenty. But if you're going for any more than 4 hours, you ought to have a word with me, and I'd see if I can pre-warn Tesco's, and then the person going can book in.
No, that's really good.
Okay.
And also, while we're talking about that sort of thing, Richard Chew says, for those people who rely on public transport, how far is it to walk from Malden town centre, or is there a bus stop nearby?
Well, I think there's a courtesy bus, if I recall, from Tesco's up into the high street. I couldn't be 100% certain on that, but I think as part of Tesco's planning consent, that is something they have to provide. So I think there's a courtesy bus. Yeah, I'm getting the nod from my advisor to the left here.
It's not a far walk from Malden town centre, is it? Just down Market Hill?
It's probably, yeah, it's probably about 15-20 minute walk from the high street down Market.
Quicker going down than it is going up.
It is a lot quicker going down than going up. Yes.
That's absolutely.
I think I'd leave my scope at the bottom of the hill if I had to go back up, I reckon.
Yes, Sarah Henson Webb said yes, that bus still runs. So echoing what Carl just said, yeah. So thanks, Sarah. What else we got?
Paul Daughtry said, "Are the walkways all now open to visitors?" So
the walkways, you can walk along the boardwalk to the end at the moment, but it's not finished beyond the end of the boardwalk. Unfortunately, I've been away for the week that it got finished, so I'm not quite sure how it's been finished, but I suspect we've at the moment got it blocked until we get the footpath finished.
Yeah.
I might be able to update on that one at some point, but unfortunately, because of bad timing, I'm not 100% sure. But in theory, if it's been left open at the end of the boardwalk, then yes, you can walk round. Stout boots, stroke wellies required, I suspect. It might be a bit muddy that end.
And I think Tim Hayward has preempted us actually, because he's asked, are volunteers wanted for work parties?
Ultimately, yes. I think we're getting towards the end of this current work season. So I'm not 100% sure what we need at the moment. But what we're probably going to want going forward is we're going to have to start doing maintenance work parties, which are basically keeping your reeds cut back from footpaths, viewing areas, picking up litter and this sort of thing. So once again, it's a bit of this victim of our own success. We've got ahead of ourselves before we've been able to formulate things. But yes, volunteers will be gratefully received.
Okay. I've got a question as well. Does it qualify for the Guinness Book of World Records with Tesco's next door as being the nature reserve with the biggest visitor centre in the world?
I think it probably is. Yeah, that's what we thought. Yeah.
Just need to get some scopes on the roof or something there to scan the river. Yeah.
I mean, the site is good for grey wagtail. Tesco's down there.
Okay.
Grey wagtails like it. Oh, hello.
Oh, so yeah, I was just going to say
there we go.
A really good Facebook page for anyone who's on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then there's a public group that you can join. You can see it's got 234 members there.
Brilliant.
And it's a really good Facebook page. Lots of updates from Simon, what birds are being seen, and updates. And then there's various photographs of the site. Just scroll down to a few. Yeah, you can see them all here. Yeah, really well worth having a look at. There's more aerial shots here.
Superb.
So if you're on Facebook, if you just search for the Chelmer and Blackwater Community Interest Company, join the group, and there's loads of information on there.
Superb. There's a website as well, I think, which I've got ready to go, because people can also become a shareholder, can't they?
They can indeed. Yes, we've got about 130 plus shareholders now, and you can pay a £5 to become a shareholder. The share has no financial value, but you become a shareholder in the company. It's part of the ethos of becoming a community company. The more people who've got shares, the more of a community, bigger the community we have. So yeah, £5 for a share. You know, if you've got people with birthdays coming up, you've got no idea what to buy them a £5 share. And
It's on the page there, isn't it? Donations.
That's it. If you click at the click that says donations, we've got a site, a page which tells you exactly what to do to buy a share. And I would thoroughly recommend it. Is a very good investment.
Yeah.
With £5, you know, the money is well spent, and you know, we're looking forward to, you know, just further diversifying the habitats.
This is something that impressed me as well when I looked at it. Is the management plan that you guys have all put together?
Yeah. I was going to go on and say that was well timed. Yeah, we've put together a management plan last March, April time. Myself, John Buchanan, and Carla Davis. We spent a little bit of time going around and having a look at things, and ultimately put this together. And it, like any management plan, it will need reviewing annually, and it's coming up for review. We'll have a look at what we have and we haven't done as far as the wildlife management plan. I don't think we've done everything we hoped to do in respect of the wildlife plan, but that's been because we've got on with the actual capital costs, if you like, of putting in the footpaths. But yeah, it's, you know, it gives us something to work to, and I can easily refer back to it in an annual report and say, well, we've managed to do this, done this, not that, and update it.
Again, I think for anyone that's interested in the site, or, you know, becoming a shareholder or helping out, this is a really detailed document, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we received, Annette and I received our share certificates last week, so
excellent.
it's well worth investing into.
Yeah.
Well done. And if you go right back to the very first page of that, Matt.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on a second. A minute. Hang on. Incidentally, Zoom just said it had crashed, but I don't think you lost me. But if you do lose me, I will be back, I promise. But
right,
there's obviously something going on. Right, a minute. Hold on. Let me get rid of that. And if I can just do that. So
Lost it or no?
Oh, he's back again.
You're on mute, Matt.
No, hold on. Sorry. Okay, where were we?
It was all going too well, wasn't it?
I know.
There's a glitch in the matrix tonight again.
I think so. Yeah. I don't know what it is. Right. So is it the contents page you wanted to look at?
The very first, the front page. There we go. Hang on. It's
the very front page, you mean?
the very front page. Yeah.
Sorry, hold on. There we go.
Very front. That's it. We have a logo as well. We thought a logo was quite an important thing, and I just mentioned my son Ollie because he designed that.
Oh, so wow!
I just thought I'd give him a shout.
Well done, Ollie. That's really
that's based on Scarce Chaser, which is actually a common dragonfly on the site in the early summer. So
nice.
Good place to come and see him.
Nice. Excellent. Oh, that is really superb. So I think there's so much opportunity there for people not only to come and enjoy the site, but also to get involved, whether it be through becoming a shareholder, or whether it be through getting your boots and gloves on and you know, ask a coffee and a pack of sandwiches and get down there and get stuck in.
That's it.
So will you be kind of up when you need work parties and stuff? Will that be on the Facebook page? Is that
we will. What happens is we've got three ways of communicating with people. The first thing is if you're a shareholder, you get a new set of teeth. If you're a shareholder, then you get an email. That's how we communicate. So that's one way. The second way is on the Facebook page. We'll tell everyone about the next work party or whatever is going on, and the third way is through the website, which has got a sort of news update section. So, for instance, just as a little taster for things happening in the future, we're hopefully having a BioBlitz day in July, and I've forgotten the date, which was a bit silly. Hang on, bear with me. I should have been more planned than this, shouldn't I?
While you're doing that, just for anyone that wants to find the site, I googled Chelmer Blackwater Reserve, and it's the top link. It's actually the site is Chelmer Blackwater CIC.uk. But if you just Google Chelmer Blackwater Reserve, the whole site's on there. the management plan's on there as well. And then, as Steve said, the Facebook page is also up and running.
Yeah, that's brilliant. The just having checked the diary. On the 9th of July, we're having a BioBlitz Day, which is hopefully being supported as well by Malden District Council. And also Essex Field Club are going to be helping out, hopefully, which is good. Back group, hopefully. I'm putting hopefullys on all of these. I've got lots of feelers out. And the plan is to make that a public day, so we get kids in, give them pots, give them nets, bring them back to the experts. So that's the 9th of July. We'll probably have moth traps out the night before, back detectors the night before. So that will be, we will start to put a few early notices out about that on the various communication options. But that's going to be our event. We're going to have a big open day at some point. But don't know about that yet.
Sounds good. We'll have to try and make that, Matt.
Yeah, definitely. I'll bring my little pot and dunk things and find out what they are. Yeah, that'll be great.
Bring a little fishing net.
Yeah, I haven't done that since I was a kid. That was brilliant.
Little bucket.
And Sarah Henderson Webb said fab logo. So
thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Really good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant.
Okay. Is there any questions on Facebook or anywhere else, Steve?
No, I don't think so, Matt.
I'll just check the emails quickly. We've got some pictures on emails which I'll have a look at later on, but I don't think there's any questions regarding.
Yeah, they just say, Dave Webb said that the 288 bus is the free bus that transfers from Tesco's to the town centre. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
I would say I've already got 9 new members to the Chelmer and Blackwater Facebook page already this evening.
Oh, that's good.
So that's
excellent.
That's good.
Well, we're not going to let you go until you got 10. So someone else will better join right now. Otherwise, we're going to be here all night.
Join.
That's brilliant. Fantastic. Okay, that's great, Simon. And I mean, I know we've all supported it as a committee anyway, but
no, I mean, I'm really grateful. The committee were brilliant about it, and it was, I felt a bit awkward when it was raised as a possible, because obviously, where I sit as president, I felt just awkward. So I am grateful for the
to be fair, just for anyone watching, Simon didn't come cap in hand asking for money. The subject came up, and I think we actually suggested, I can't remember who, it might have even been Jerry suggested, why don't the society donate towards this project? Because ultimately it's right in the heart of the county, and it's something that hopefully everyone can enjoy, and it's a really worthwhile cause as well, because if that area can become more biodiverse, it can it's not only good for nature, but it's good for people. You've got Tesco's right next door.
Yeah.
And even if you get one person becomes interested in nature for the rest of their life, it's worth doing.
Exactly.
Exactly. And Richard Chew's messaged in. He says it is important not to forget the restoration of small local sites for nature. What an inspiring project. Well done, Simon, and all involved. So
thank you, Richard.
We agree with that completely. I mean, that's just what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, spot on. Absolutely brilliant. No, I'm definitely looking forward to. I'm thinking a field trip in the future has got to be worth it. There, definitely.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Brilliant.
Okay. Well, thanks very much, Simon. Thanks for coming on the show as well and telling us all about it. And just good luck with the rest of the project. And I know it's going to go well. And just well done, really, to you, to all of the members of the committee. It's been a brilliant effort, and I can't believe how well you've done in such a short period of time.
Well, it surprised us, and thank you.
it just goes to show, because you said before that you've got a group of people and everyone's got their own skill set that they bring to the table. And when a group of people can get together with a common goal in mind and work together, things can happen, can't they?
We are indeed now being put forward by some of the Essex County Council people as a prime example of what a community can do, which is quite, it's humbling in some ways, because we hadn't really thought. We were just doing what we wanted to do.
And if you hadn't have done it between you all, that would be, a housing estate or blocks of flats or whatever.
Could have been something that no one liked. I mean, we don't know what it would have ultimately been, but it's been saved.
Yep.
Well done, everyone.
Superb, brilliant work. Right, I think that's it. So we'll say goodbye to you, Simon. Thanks very much for coming on. And
That's okay,
Simon.
Yeah.
all the best. Catch up with you soon.
See you soon, mate.
Norfolk.
Take care.
Yeah, we'll do.
Yeah, enjoy
Bye,
Norfolk.
everyone.
Yeah, bye, bye.
Yeah. Oh, that was bloody amazing. Excuse my
Yeah.
French.
Brilliant.
You know,
Absolutely brilliant.
yeah. If you've got nothing planned this weekend, have a visit because it's well worth a wander around. It's a brilliant place.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, when we were there, even though the rain was absolutely torrential, wasn't it? It was horrific, but the site itself is fabulous. Really,
Yeah,
really good.
there was kingfisher, rock pipit,
Mm.
because obviously Simon said it's next to the seawall, so there's a bit of salt marsh, so wintering rock pipits.
Yeah.
And the River Blackwater, I mean, sort of runs past it.
Mm.
And a couple of, I can't think what year it was, someone will no doubt message in. There was a green wing teal, literally quarter of a mile from there on the river.
Yeah.
So
Well,
the birding potential is so high.
I think he was saying as well, I mean, obviously it's going to be in the future, but there's even the potential for maybe having a scrape there of some kind. I'm not sure if you mentioned it just now, but you never know, because things at high tide could drop off the river and come into the reserve. So yeah, it's a really exciting place. And I'm definitely going to have a look around in the springtime.
And say thanks to Simon for joining us tonight, because because I say, Simon's been president of the society for quite a few years now, and not everyone knows him. People know his name from the Birds of Essex, but it's nice to have him on as a guest and chat about this lovely project.
Absolutely brilliant. Right. So are there any more messages? I'm going to load up some pictures from people.
No, I think we're all up to date at the moment, Matt.
Okay.
Oh, that or everyone's fallen asleep. They were all awake when Simon was talking. Now we're back on.
Back to sleep, everyone. Get your cocoa, get your pillows out. It's me and Steve. Right. So just going to rattle through. We can't dwell because I've got about 50 pictures to go through here, believe it or not. So we'll do them quite quickly. So thanks for everyone sending them in. There's a few more that look like they've dropped in while we've been talking, which we'll try to share later on as well. So the first one we've got, this is from Frankie Robertson. Just grouped them by the people that sent them in. So Frankie Robertson, this is a group of kind of domesticated cross grey lag geese things, like farmyard geesey cross things with some mallards in the background. I just think the colours on these birds are quite nice, aren't they?
Quite cool, yeah.
Yeah, pretty nice. Thank you. Another Frankie picture, and you've got a group of widgeon with some pintail mixed in, some Drake pintail and female pintail as well. So rather nice. Thank you. Oh, and teal in there too.
Yeah,
teal.
Nice.
Yeah. What else we've got? A pied wagtail, and looks like you got the front half of a lapwing on the left, and its back half is on the right somehow, which looks like a wrap-round lapwing.
That's a cunning trick, that is.
And a group of snipe, really good. I think these were all at Hanningfield and Raynham,
Nice.
Frankie. And then we've got Gadwall and black-headed gull,
Yep.
and a grey heron, looking
Nice.
rather cold, I think. Then we've got some photos from Ian Dale. So Ian Dale sent these in from Littlebury area. And he's attached a few photos of some of the best birds he's seen on his local patch in the past month or so, which is in Littlebury near Saffron Walden. And hold on, it's got the robin. You've got a beautiful fieldfare in the ice.
Lovely.
Lovely. The ringneck parakeet, which people are either going to go, yay, I love that, or boo, don't like it. But I think they're fun. I love parakeets. They're good fun birds.
No, they're good. Yeah, they're good.
Was it? It's rose-neck parakeet now, isn't it? Sorry.
Rose-ringed parakeet. Yeah.
Rose-ringed parakeet, that's it, sorry. We've got rather a stunning buzzard.
That's gorgeous. I like that. That's cracking.
Really nice. And I mean, it looks like the same bird, probably on a branch, not sure. Gorgeous kestrel. Female Kessie. And again, possibly the same bird landed on a telegraph wire or railing of some kind. And then a raven.
Hey.
Big old bill and diamond-shaped tail and long wings.
Yep. Well done.
And then he's also had some red kites. So he said red kite count has been fabulous locally, up to 27 roosting together near the village.
Wow.
And providing lots of photo opportunities. So that's the first one. It's rather nice. A couple of birds together. That's a very special bird there. Beautiful exposure as well. Really nice pictures these are. Lovely. And then we're on to Jan Lewis. So Jan Lewis kindly sent it. He came all the way north to Ipswich, up sort of roughly near my neck of the woods where I work. And for anyone that doesn't know, there's been a group of waxwing in Ipswich. So I think there were 7 to start with, and I'm not sure if they're still around. They dwindled down to kind of 5, and they might still be knocking around.
Yeah, they're today, Matt.
Sorry?
They were still there today.
Okay. And this is a lovely shot from Jan of a couple of them. And he also got the black-headed gull from Mistley. And somewhere on here, he's reported to ring JR77. And this bird it was originally ringed back in 2020 in Norway. I'm not going to try and pronounce the place, but it's near Oslo, I think. And then it's been kind of going to Mistley, back to the same place it was ringed in Norway, or the same area, back to Mistley, and back to Norway again. So it's kind of Mistley to Norway. And the interesting thing is that kind of in fairly close company to this bird was this chappie here, which you know very well, Steve.
I do. He might feature a little bit later in the show.
Okay. So Jan and I have kind of come up with a theory that we wonder if that's where this Mediterranean gull disappears to when he goes off for the summer. Maybe he's going off to Norway as well. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know how far know how far north they breed, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but this bird seems to sort of hang around with blackheads all the time, doesn't it? So I'm wondering if that's where it goes. I don't know, just a theory.
No reason why not.
But lovely shots there, Jan. Thank you. Then we had Justin from the Easthorpe area. He sent in this picture, which I think he took on his phone, but he's got 5 red kites in a tree fading in the bottom of his garden, he said.
Oh, that's just up the road. Just up the road from me, that is. So that's interesting.
And he said there's good numbers of red kites. I think he said he's had, I can't remember what the figure was, but it was double figures he's had, definitely, which is good.
Wow, that's really good. And
then his friend Kevin from Easthorpe as well got this picture of a peregrine on a prey up. Looks probably like a wood pigeon or something, maybe, I reckon.
It's a good local record, that is. That's really good.
And some golden plover in a field, which are always lovely to see, aren't they?
Yeah, nice light on those.
Beautiful, beautiful. And then we've got Martin Potter. Martin sent this in just before we went on air tonight. He said he's been hunting for tree creepers, and he's managed to find at least six to 8 birds, and managed to get a record shot of one of them. So that's really good. Thank you very much. And then Mike Davies. So Mike regularly contributes sightings and photographs to our website. Thank you, Mike, for all the stuff you post online. It's all very useful and valuable. And he sent in some photos. So we've got a lovely oyster catcher, a couple of curlew,
nice,
carrion crow. Got a very large bill, this one, but I think it's just a carrion crow. The feathers don't come far enough, and it doesn't look right for raven, but it's quite big. But some of the crows are big, aren't they?
Yeah, we were discussing this last week, weren't we? That sometimes you see a crow and you think it's got to be a raven because it's massive. Then you have a good look at it and it's just a crow.
Yeah,
I don't know. No idea why.
It's weird, isn't it? What we've got here, turnstone and redshank having a feed.
Yep, nice.
Long-tailed tit with a nice blue sky. Male kestrel. A pair of kestrel sitting on a stump. I like that picture. That's quite a nice shot.
Yeah, lovely.
And then a meadow pipit.
Yep.
And a ringed plover, common ringed plover. Very, very nice. And then to finish with, I think we've got a small flock of dark-bellied Brent geese. Yep. And then Pete Dwyer. So Pete, our membership secretary, mentioned him earlier. I know he's watching. He sent in this picture of a black cap. And he said this was in his garden most of Tuesday, feeding on sunflower hearts.
Oh, okay, it's good.
Very nice. That's always a good bird to get in the garden, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, it's nice.
Really
yeah,
good.
well worth checking. Of course, we haven't mentioned it, but this weekend is the RSPB's Big Garden Birdwatch.
Yes.
So hopefully that might appear for you, Pete. So get that one recorded. But yeah, well worth people taking part in that.
Definitely. And he also said his friend in Gosfield, a few miles away, has reported several siskins on his feeders. So that's, again, nice bird to get in the garden, siskin as well.
Definitely.
We've got Richard Chew. So Richard Chew, his year list at the time was on 79. I can't remember if he said he's seen more now, but lovely green woodpecker in the Basildon area. Beautiful flock of Brent geese in Blue House Farm, or from Blue House Farm.
He's still on 79.
Oh, okay. Couple of mute swans at Dunton. We've got a frosty robin, also at Dunton.
That's nice.
Gorgeous picture, isn't it?
Robins, yeah, beautiful.
Just black-headed gull with a lovely reflection. Love the water there.
I like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love yeah, that is cracking.
That's the kind of picture you could have on your wall, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, I like that.
Really nice. And a grey heron on the ice, looking a bit miserable. Where are the fish gone? That's from Dunton as well. Then in Langdon, Richard's had this lovely fox.
Nice.
He's had some nice fox pictures actually the last few months, Richard.
Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, obviously his local patch is really good for, well, it's all good for lots of wildlife.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cracker, that is.
Lovely little gold crest. Very nice.
Gold crest.
And Jay. And you don't often get good pictures of Jay because they're quite secretive, aren't they?
Yeah,
that's also from Langdon.
Shy bird, yeah. I mean, that's a cracker. I love the blue on the wing. It's beautiful.
I've always wanted to find a Jay feather, to be fair.
Yeah, me too.
And then also in Langdon, he's had a great spotted woodpecker as well, which is nice.
Oh, well done, Richard.
And then Two Tree, he's had avocet and a nice widgeon, which I think might be the last picture from Richard. And then we've got Rick up in Grays, and he said there's been up to 20 rose-ringed parakeets up in the Grays area. So there's a picture. How many are on there? 5 on my camera.
Yep, 5, yeah.
And you've got another one just there having a bit of a feed on a bit of apple, I think, or a bit of something. Yeah, bit of apple in the trees, I think. Someone put some out by the looks of it.
So presumably when you had that snow then, a few weeks
I reckon so, yeah. But I think the bird of the month has got to be Richard Chew. He sent this in today, and it's he reckons it's a lesser spotted, 4-legged, 2-headed Egyptian goose.
I've never seen one of those before.
No, I've never seen one of them either.
I mean, do you get 2 ticks if you see it, or just the one?
To be fair, someone's ringed one of its 4 legs, so it'd be interesting to get the history on that bird, definitely.
There's a feather on the side there, so you could probably get some DNA from that. So
there you go.
Really, well done to everyone that sent pictures in.
Thank you very much. There's a few more waiting in the inbox, but we'll have a quick look at them second half if we get time. Any messages at all? Anything on the chat?
We've got Stanley Davis said that the waxwings were there on Blanche Street, 5 on Blanche Street when he saw them.
Yep.
And Tim Haywood said to Jan that his new camera was worth it. So because Jan's just bought a new camera and lens, so obviously with those waxwing shots, he's pretty successful with those.
They were rather nice, I must say.
Yes, rather good. But that's it so far.
Do you fancy a mindful moment?
Do you know what? I was hoping we'd have a mindful moment.
Were you?
So I just sit back and relax.
Okay, so we're going to have a mindful moment with John. This one's about 4 minutes long. And then, to be fair, I haven't actually prepped a break thing, but we might just turn the cameras off for 2 or 3 minutes while we go and grab a drink or something. If I can find something to play in my usual terrible manner, I might do. But let's go with John's video, because that's going to be far better than anything I've got.
Fantastic. Yeah, so for those who watch this regularly, John Ward is a regular contributor to the show and does these amazingly mindful videos, and they're BBC quality, I have to say.
Oh, you know, they're incredible, and they're just so peaceful. You know,
yeah. And they're the kind of thing. Seen this one, so.
Well, they're the kind of thing. If I've had a bad day at work, I could get in and watch one of these, and I'd just be happy again. You know.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Right. So hopefully, I hope this works and I don't crash. Can you see a blank screen?
Yes, blank screen.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to press play and turn my microphone off. Back in a second.
I'll do the same. Wow. He's done it again.
Brilliant.
Just when you think, can he come up with the goods? He delivers every month.
The kestrel at the end,
Oh,
gulping down its dinner. Oh my goodness, that was amazing.
I love the turnstone, like close range, with just bits of sand flicking up.
Yeah. The snow bunting and the sea. Oh, all of it. Fantastic.
Wow, well done, John.
Yeah, brilliant.
Well done.
Thanks, John. Really, really good. Right.
100
Okay.
out of 10.
So that was really good. I've lost my messages thing on my iPad. I don't know why my iPad's died. So
Yeah, we've had Nicholas Warner says this is great, really lovely. Well done, guys. Martin Gathercole, great job, John. Fantastic
Yeah.
images and a nice relaxing break away from Matt and Steve. Thanks, Martin. Kind words as ever. Mike O'Hanlon says another brilliant video, John.
Yeah.
Richard Chu, excellent, John. And then Frankie Robertson, wow, just wow, how incredible. So, do you know what? Perhaps we should just get John on next month and
yeah, the John show. Just do John's mindful moment, John's mindful hour, and just like, yeah, that would be good.
That is, I mean, do you know what? I look forward to his videos every month.
Well, now you've got one of our break videos. I found one. It's a really bad one. Hang on.
Okay.
It's one of the really old ones. So we're gonna have a quick break.
Yeah, a couple of minutes just to get a cup of tea, use the facilities if you need to.
Absolutely. If I can find it, I might not be able to find it actually. I will be happy if I can't. Oh, here we go. A minute.
And then we'll be back with monthly roundup.
Yep.
What we've been up to.
Yep.
Yes.
A few more pictures in the emails, which we'll try and share quickly. Yeah, that'll be about it, really. So yeah. See you in a bit.
See you in a couple of minutes.
I think he's gone. Oh, There he is. Hello. You're on mute. There you go.
I'm not. Yeah, sorry. You know, I was just reading the comments from people. People aren't very impressed with the intermission.
Oh dear, someone having a laugh. Oh, that's funny.
I quite like the music to that.
I apologise for that. It's
You're
about the
probably
best I can come up with, to be fair.
You're probably too young, Matt, but there was a program called Sale of the Century.
I do remember that.
I was being polite to you, really. And it just reminds me of the sort of theme tune music to a really cheesy game show from the 70s.
It's terrible. It really is bad, isn't it? It's so bad. I actually feel that that's almost like a crime to go from John's beautiful video to that. I really should be in big trouble, to be honest with you. And I would like to issue a public apology that I created that monstrosity of a break interlude thing, and you'll hopefully never see it again until next month at least. Right.
Unless someone can come up with a better option, then we're always willing to.
Blank screen. I'll tell you what. Next time, if I paint a bit of paint onto a bit of wood and just leave it in front of the camera, and you can all watch it dry for 3 minutes.
Yeah, watch it dry. Yeah, exactly. So,
without banging on too much about my internet, I've got a warning in the background saying my stream's current bit rate is low. I'm wondering if this might actually be my internet provider, so I might try and have a word with them before next month. So if I do go a bit glitchy, apologies, but hopefully we'll get there. Okay. I've lost my wireless network, but luckily I'm wired in the computer, so it's all going horribly wrong. But there you go. Right.
Well, you've got to last another 20 minutes or so, mate. That's
exactly. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. Right, where have we been and what have we seen? Do you want to go first? Because I might die here.
Yeah, well, let's hope not. It's right. Okay, so where have I been? So yeah, since I got back from Australia, when was that? End of last year. Yeah, I've had a lot of stuff going on, sort of personally, as most people know. But I managed to. Luckily, I've been out working, which is good. So yeah, been out birding. So this was taken, I think, on New Year's Day after New Year's Day, 2nd maybe. So yeah, Abberton is always a good port of call on the year list, and this lovely Drake Scaup was down at Abberton, so that was pretty good. Then a few days later I ventured up to Holland Haven.
Nice.
To try and see the old purple sandpipers, which were performing quite nicely. This is a horribly grainy shot, but it was taken at like 8 o'clock in the morning. It's half dark. So that was really nice. And there was firecrest there and some hooper swans, which was, I know a lot of people have seen. And then this is from the Brecks. So this is this concrete bridge that Matt was talking about earlier. This is Linford Arboretum. So another shot of a nuthatch. And also I had a walk along the river. This was a few days after the Birdwatching Society field trip. I was leading a walk up in the Brecks, and we had this lovely pair of mandarin ducks.
Gorgeous. Which
was nice. Always nice bird to see, especially the male. Lovely sort of gaudy colours. And then again, this is the hawfinch. It's a different hawfinch again, as Matt said. This is like full crop, massive zoom on this one. But yeah, you get the idea. And what else have I been up to? Then last week, Matt and I headed down to South Essex, just for a day's birding. We fancied a day out, and I hadn't seen Matt since. Well, we hadn't seen each other since like November.
No, yep.
So we had a boys' day out down in South Essex, and we started off at Bowers Marsh, where we had these 17 white-fronted geese, which have been sort of hanging around for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Which were good, and then we had a nice flock of barnacle geese there as well. What else did we have? We had this little beauty, which I'm sure Matt will have a photograph of as well. This was just near Southend, so this was
gorgeous.
Firecrest. We went down to Wallasey Island. We had a nice flyby spoonbill. Again, this was pretty grainy, but that was nice. And then this beautiful barn owl. Matt and I were talking earlier in the day, saying that I said I haven't really got a decent picture of a barn owl, and then like literally 2 hours later, this happened. So that was really nice. And then last weekend I was up on the sort of Suffolk coast, and we were talking about the weather earlier. The weather's been amazing. and we had quite a lot of woodlarks displaying. So this is a nice singing woodlark.
That's a really good shot, actually, because you can see the the typical lark wings, but they have that really short little stubby tail, don't they, woodlark?
Yeah. So the skylark would have a much longer tail. So, but yeah, like you say, almost non-existent tail really on this woodlark. So that was nice. And then we had lots more white-fronted geese, up to 140.
Very nice.
Where
were they? Where were they at?
This is at Hollesley,
Hollesley.
RSPB Reserve.
Yep.
So yeah, really, really nice of those. And then this week, this is again another really grainy shot, but I popped out to Goldhanger. So it's a bit of my old stomping ground. I used to birdwatch that lot when I was younger. I've been there for years. So this hen harrier flew right past me.
Beautiful.
So yeah, managed to grab a couple of shots of this, and then some. This is through the phone. This is some Slavonian grebes. Been up to 7 on the river there.
Even at distance, you know they're Slavs, don't you? Because they just got that kind of white-black look on their head.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's an atrocious photograph, but yeah, so nice views of these Slavonian grebes. And then yesterday I was up at Mistley and Rabness leading a walk, and yeah, as we were saying earlier about these yellowhammer flock, they're up to 30 yellowhammers, including this lovely bird. And then just to finish off, I think this teal, just to show that it hasn't always got to be about the rare stuff. Some of the more common.
You know what? Sorry to butt in, but that if you actually look at how beautiful a teal is,
yeah.
I was having a conversation with someone the other day. It might even have been yourself. That if birds like teal or mallard or magpie, if they were rarities, you would twitch that. No problem, wouldn't you? You go miles to see that because it's beautiful.
Absolutely right. I mean, that is it was on a gloomy day yesterday. It was pretty bleak, but the colours just stand out so nicely. So
and it's very easy just to go, oh yeah, teal. But if you actually watch one, they're stunning. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. And then lovely knot. And again, this was taken at Mistley. It's a really good place to see waders at close range. So yeah, knot. And then of course, now is this bird got a name?
I'm not sure. Well, someone did say it had a name, and I can't remember what it was, to be fair. But yeah, I think just Mistley Med or Mistley Meg, or
I thought it was Miguel the Med or something, but I don't know how true that is. I don't know whether it's
something like that. I think, yeah.
So if anyone knows if it's got an official name, let me know. But yeah, this bird, as Jan photographed as well, is just absolute cracker. Certainly my bird of the week, that is for sure.
Beautiful bird.
So yeah, so that's me done. So
excellent, thanks, Steve.
So what have you been up to?
Right, let's have a look. I'm scared to even try and click on things because, like I said, my wireless has gone completely. But I will. Let's onwards. Right, here we go. So
if not, I'll chat to myself. So
yeah, talk to yourself. Right, hold on. So first of all, on New Year's Day, I went out to local patch, just stayed in Ardley, and I was quite pleased to get one of these on patch on the first day of the year, a great white egret. Got that?
The moorhen as well, obviously, because that was a new bird.
I see. There's loads of moorhen at Ardley. I've about 100 or so moorhen normally. I count on the web's count there, which is pretty good. Yeah. And then a few days later, Manningtree. I think this was on the 2nd. Had probably the best views I've ever had of greenshank.
That's cracking, that is
beautiful bird. It was just merrily wading along behind the co-op. Managed to get some nice shots of that. And obviously, being a Manningtree, you had to go up to Mistley. Yeah, so a lot of these photos are going to be quite similar, to be fair.
I'm sure we've got different angles, so that's
exactly
fine.
First month of the year. So yeah, Mistley Med goal. And funny enough, got a scorp at Abberton Reservoir. So that's kind of I think that's just a female bird asleep there. And obviously adult male, very nice. At least yours woke up. Mine was fast asleep.
They did spend a lot of time asleep, I have to say.
And also Abberton got quite nice, sort of reasonably close views of the black-necked grebe.
It's nice, beautiful.
Yep, really sort of smudgy looking compared to Steve's Slavonian grebe earlier on, similar sort of size bird. And then Holland Haven, went to Holland Haven, got the purple sandpipers. Again, mine asleep, yours awake. There's something going on here.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, really.
Maybe you're right. Maybe people out there are asleep. I was going to say, if you're asleep, tell us in the chat, but obviously that's not possible, is it? So maybe I'd send people to sleep. Anyway, not to worry. Right, there you go. So a sleeping purple sandpiper. And these guys certainly weren't asleep. So this is the 7 waxwing. And to be fair, when I first went to look for them, I went 2 or 3 times to see them. And the first time, this is kind of the view I had as I pulled into Blanche Street in the car. This flock of birds came over and I thought they looked like plump, creamy coloured starlings. They must be waxwings. And all 7 came over the car. Very nice. And then they all kind of settled down in a tree, which was nice.
Nice.
And then they kind of flew around a little bit and went to land in another bushy thing. This is actually I don't know what berry this is. Sorry, I'm rubbish on plants. But this is where they were feeding all the time, in this sort of small berry bush.
Like a type of rowan or something like that, I would say, but
possibly. So yeah, here we go. This is the same thing here. Is that rowan? I'm not sure. And yeah, just got some nice views. I mean, they're such pretty birds. They really are gorgeous birds, aren't they? Lovely, lovely. So that's it.
That.
And also, I was in Ipswich around the corner, just went to Christchurch Park and I got my mandarin, but mine wasn't in a natural environment like yours. Mine was stood on a bit of concrete, but there you go.
That's a cracking duck, isn't it?
Also stood on the same bit of concrete, stock dove. And again, just took that. I mean, they're beautiful, stock dove. What a pretty bird. Really lovely. And then same time in Christchurch, buzzard glided over and everything panicked a little bit. And then it sat in a tree really close to me and proceeded to sort of glare at me for about 2 or 3 minutes as I was taking a couple of pictures and watching it. And then it flew off again. So that was quite nice to see.
An easy bird to photograph, like.
No, not on the deck.
They don't really allow you getting that close to them. So
no, it was really quite. It was happy. I mean, I was a fair distance away, to be fair. I was looking through branches, but it was quite happy just sitting there and doing its thing. It stayed there for 2 or 3 minutes before it flew off. Goldcrest on local patch at Ardley.
Nice.
And obviously we went to Hockley Woods together. So got nuthatch, doing this kind of typical banana pose of a nuthatch. Sometimes you see. And then got the firecrest as well. I mean, we had that particular firecrest. It was, for some reason, the light hit this bush where it was perfectly, didn't it?
It was beautiful.
And it was calling. We both heard it calling. And then he just hopped out. And it hopped out and it was kind of just hopping around for probably, 10 seconds or so?
Yeah, it was calling lots and just, really active.
Yeah. And then off it went. But we got some beautiful views of that. And then, got the spoonbill at Wallasey. And the barn owl at once as well. There you go. So we've pretty much chosen the same pictures. But, when you see a bird like that at that close distance, they're just stunning, absolutely stunning. And then finish with just a moody shot of a wind turbine at Holland Haven that a kestrel decided to photobomb just up there. So
nice.
Yeah. Right.
And we didn't lose you either, so that was pretty good.
Oh, good. That's all right. Well, let me close the photos down the background. So get rid of them. Okay, messages, feedback, and I can't really check very easily. I've got my phone going.
I've got it. Mike O'Hanlon says the medgull they call Ahmed.
Okay.
He calls it Ahmed. I quite like that actually. Ahmed. Yeah,
that sounds like it should be a northern medgull, really. It's Ahmed. Oh.
Brian Cox has said, great evening entertainment, guys. Looking forward to next month's edition and good birding. Stanley Davis said he thinks stock dove is the most overlooked common bird. Yeah, I agree. As you were saying earlier, if it was a rarity, you'd drive miles to see a stock dove.
Yeah.
And then Kathy Hoskin says, thanks for reading my post. I plan to be at Walthamstow Wetlands on the 12th of March.
Oh, excellent.
So she'd love to meet some of the group there. So Matt and I will both be there, along with Society Chairman Jerry Johnson, who organises the trips. So we look forward to seeing you there, Kathy.
Cool.
Not long now, actually.
No, definitely not. Right, what's next? Websites. So we've got every month we choose a website each, and we try and keep them bird related and pretty straightforward, hopefully. So do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
It's up to you, mate. It's up to you.
Well, you go first. Go on, what have you found? I'm intrigued because you said you found an interesting website this month and you didn't tell me what it was.
I have. I'll tell you what I'm going to do first. I'm going to close my photographs down first, actually. No, tell you what, I won't. So I had a website lined up for tonight, and then a customer Denise Johnson yesterday told me about this website that she'd looked at, and then this like trumped my one big time. So
okay.
well, that's the wrong thing. See how good I am. I told you. Hold on a minute. Let me just close this, and then I'll be there.
Do you want me to play the break thing again quickly for 3 minutes?
You know what? I was almost professional tonight, and it's all just gone horribly wrong. So right, we'll share screen. I'll click on the right thing this time. So
hey, oh,
so this is the Nord University. So it's natureid.no.
okay.
And as you can see, this is not in English. It's in Norwegian. But if you click on this Fugler bird ID page,
Right.
hopefully it works. There's this. It's a study program all about bird identification. So you can take like online exams, which I haven't like gone into too much. But there's a really good bird guide. Which does take a little bit of time to load. Just bear with me, just 10 seconds. It does work, but it just seems to take ages to load on this page. But yeah, so it's almost like a field guide.
Okay.
So it says it's a work in progress and is available in Norwegian and English. So you can select a species. So choose a species, Matt. Western Palearctic.
Oh goodness, let's go with Arctic tern because it's on the screen there. That's nice and easy.
Okay. So you click on Arctic tern, and then it comes up with some of the identification features.
Very smart.
And then you can compare it with other species. It's got bird calls on here. Hopefully you might be able to hear.
Oh, not sure if that's playing, but get the general idea.
So anyway, so there's bird calls.
Yep.
There's links to Xenocanto, Featherbase, which we've featured, and Xenocanto.
Yes, we've featured that before. Yeah, yeah.
But do you know what the best thing about this website is? The quiz.
Oh, a quiz, like a quiz.
Like a quiz. So I had to go at this a couple of times now. It says you need to be logged in, but you don't have to. So you can do a picture. You can do a picture exercise.
Yep.
And then you can choose where you want a bird. So if you want a birds of Denmark or
no, you're
Western Palearctic.
Can we stick to the UK?
So what do you want? Level 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Western Palearctic, I won't have a clue. Do UK stuff. I might be able to do the UK stuff if there's a UK one. There you go.
Do UK. Do you want 1, 2, 3, or 4 level?
Oh, go 3. Go 3.
3. We'll do 10 questions.
Okay.
Limited time, and then start. So here we go.
I might have got a camera in the way.
Okay. So what bird is that? And you get a choice.
Oh, I think that might be a redwing.
Okay. So you click redwing and then answer, and it goes green.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
You do your next one. Whoa.
I like it. Oh, now that one is a yellow wagtail.
Okay. Yellow wagtail.
Yeah, I don't know which common, the blue-headed one or whatever.
Correct.
That one looks like common tern. Is a common tern on there? Yep.
Okay. Yep. Common tern.
Hopefully. That's a little wren. Is on there. Yep. Okay. I see you've got multiple choice down the side.
Multiple choice down the side, and then
gotcha.
Yeah.
That's got to be a pochard.
Pochard. Yeah. Well done. And next.
Oh, that's another wren.
Yeah, so just try and throw a curveball in there now and again.
Okay.
So, yep, correct.
That's the good old buzzard.
Okay, well done. Well
buzzard.
Done.
And that is a great northern diver, I think, is the size of that bill, I'd say.
Yep, so
hang on, common loon, yeah. Common loon,
yeah, okay. And then...
that's not... Is that a long-eared owl?
I would say so. Personally, yeah. Let's see what it says.
I've never seen a long-eared owl.
Okay, answer that one. Yep, green. That's good. Okay. And then
the hobby, obviously.
Okay, so I assume you've said kestrel on this one.
Okay.
You click kestrel, and then it tells you it's red, and it is a hobby. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
If you don't know, does it just skip the answer? I take it, and you find out later.
I've never done that. I've never done it. So
you wouldn't, to be fair, mate.
And there's loads of people taking part, and you can do quizzes.
Oh.
I had to go at the Western Palearctic one on like hardest setting, and it's pretty challenging, but it's good fun.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's a really good way of, because I guess some of the pictures are all different angles and stuff as well.
Yeah.
It looked like,
so yeah, it's good. And you can also do sound exercises. You can do calls and stuff.
Okay. I don't think that's going to work on the screen here. I'm not making excuses.
No,
I don't think you're going to hear it, but
I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, that's my.
oh, that's brilliant. I like that.
It was pretty cool. It's a bit of fun. If you fancy, like, cup of tea, have a go at a quiz. Can't go wrong, mate.
Test yourself. We'll have to do that again next month or something.
Sounds good.
Try on the harder level and see if I can get more than 0. Right, where's mine? Here we go. Well, mine looks a bit boring now, to be fair, but I actually quite like this. Can you see that?
I can, yeah, that looks good.
So I stumbled across this the other day, the Eurasian African Bird Migration Atlas. And basically it's similar to, we had one a couple of months ago that for the life of me, I can't remember what it's called, but where you can track the movement of birds live. I've got it stored somewhere on my favorites. But this one is similar sort of thing. So you can choose a species. So pick a species, Steve. There's about 300 on here.
Okay, well, let's do little turn. Little turn's a good one.
Little turn.
Or a turn. A turn will do. Any turn will do. There you go.
Turn. Hang on. Let's do it. Should we do Arctic turn again?
Yep, that sounds good.
Yep. Okay. You can see on here, it's based on ringing data, as Steve said. You've got the movements of the birds sort of to and from. You can, down the side here, you can search by region, by age, by sex. You can do the seasonal movements of the birds. So everything you click on, it then brings up, this is seasonal movements. So you can see the dots moving around the map of where the birds have been kind of seen and ringed and recorded. You can, let's go back to that one quickly. I'm hoping this isn't going to crash. You can do it by month and region. So you can do the northwest, which I think we're classed as northwest.
I love the fact that there's an Arctic tern record in the middle of the United States.
It's amazing, isn't it? Well, look, there's one down there in Brazil, from Iceland to Brazil.
Yeah, I mean, there's where you would expect them to be, north, south, and then there's some just really random...
Over here, yeah, look, there it is, yeah.
Like you say, I mean, you think of Iceland to Brazil, obviously the birds just got it's gone south where the same distance it should have done, but just wintered off.
It's just fascinating because you can, I'm not going to click on it, but up the top right there, you can get a basic guide to the bird as well, similar to what you had on the Nordic website just now. You've also got, there's some text, you've got various statistics down here. So it tells you how many birds have been recovered, whether they were alive, dead, unknown, and whatever it may be. And then you've got all of these different tables down here. You can see so number of encounters and number of encounters by years and a histogram showing the distance moved. So there's loads and loads of stuff to explore. And there are quite a lot of species on here. I think there's about 300 species, it said. So you have got, wherever it is, hang on a minute. You've got the siskins and buntings and bullfinch and just all sorts of stuff. But I was going to try and find out. Just saw it. Hang on. Waxwing. There we go. So if we bring up waxwing just to be topical. And you can just see waxwing movements. And again, you've got all the details that you can explore down the side here. It's just fascinating to look at, really.
I like that. A lot of work involved in that, isn't there? Really is.
Yeah. And it's a real clear visual visual reference as to where these birds actually move to and from. And the other one I looked at very briefly was Brent goose. So obviously Brent geese, this is quite interesting actually, because you can see you've got the birds that come into the east of the country pretty much predominantly come across from Siberia.
Yep, the dark-bellied Brents, yeah.
Yeah, but the birds from the west obviously are the, Greenland, Iceland, and they'll be the pale-bellied, won't they?
Yeah. Wow, that's brilliant.
It's fascinating, isn't it? So there you go. Really good website to have a look at. And that's called Bird Migration Atlas.
Okay.
Okay. Right. What's next?
We've almost been on 2 hours, mate. We were like...
Oh, my goodness. Sorry. Let's rattle through some sightings quickly.
So I'll quickly I can whip through this very, very quickly. So I'll cover the south of the county as usual.
Yep.
Apologies if I've missed anything, but it's there's always stuff going to slip through. Rainham. So Rainham the last month has had firecrest, Dartford warbler, short-eared owl, and water pipit. So water pipits seem to be quite numerous this winter in the county. Down at East Tilbury, it's been a little quiet, but cattle egret and hen harrier. And again, I think Matt and I were talking earlier, hen harriers seem to having a good winter in the county, lots of sightings. Vange Marsh, down near Pitsea, they've had up to 6 jack snipe, and again, a couple more water pipits. Bowers Marsh RSPB Reserve has had up to 30 barnacle geese. We saw those last week, and they appear to be sort of birds from the feral British population. Some of them have got neck collars on, white ones, which I think are from Britain. But there's 17 white-fronted geese, as we saw earlier, and water pipit. Down at Canvey, Canvey Heights Country Park's had a Dartford warbler, so it's a good local bird for down that South End area. Hockley Woods, we've mentioned earlier, has had firecrest. Wallasey Island had red-breasted merganser, which is an incredibly rare bird for Wallasey, probably the rarest bird on Ireland at the moment. 3+ hen harriers, 3 short-eared owls, spoonbill, and a great white egret. Gunners Park's had great northern diver yesterday. What else have we got? Haybridge, so Simon Wood's neck of the woods. Neck of the woods. Do you see what I did there? That was intentional. And black redstart. And then down on the Dengie Peninsula has had hen harrier and white-fronted geese. And then Old Hall Marshes has had puffin, potential puffin earlier in the month. And again, short-eared owl, hen harrier, eider, and up to 5 great northern divers. And then we just go across to Goldhanger and sort of Rolls Farm area.
Yep.
Redneck grebe, long-tailed duck, 6, at least 7 Slavonian grebes, and common scoter, as well as really good numbers of pintail and waders.
Fabulous.
So I've rattled through it a little bit quick, but that's me done and dusted.
Okay, well, I'll do the same thing very quickly. So there's been quite a few short-eared owls. I've got a couple of pictures to try and share, hopefully if I don't die. So short-eared owls seen at the Naze and Holland Haven. This is Mike O'Hanlon's picture of a shortie, and a beautiful one too.
Nice.
There's been hen harriers seen at Mersey, Fingering Hoe, Copt Hall. There's been merlin seen at Abberton, the Naze, Fingering Hoe and Copt Hall. There's been snow buntings at Mersey and the Naze, and Brian Combs has got a picture of a snow bunting there, beautiful little birds. White-fronted geese, 6 white-fronted geese between Flatford and Dedham, and also at the Naze. And again, Brian's got a lovely picture he uploaded to the site there of a family group of white-fronted geese. Possibly up to 3 smew at Abberton. Also at Abberton, bittern, white stork, 2 great northern divers, up to 11 Caspian gulls, and 2 yellow-leg gulls. And we've got a picture here of a yellow leg in the background and a Caspian, looks like first winter Caspian in the foreground there. That's from Darryl Rhymes. Long-tailed duck, black-neck grebe, red-neck grebe, 7 Buick swans, 12 scorp, 2 red-breasted merganser, which are really good birds for Abberton, aren't they? Really good birds. Dartford warbler's been seen at Fingering Hoe. We then got a roundup from Frington from Paul. So he said, as is typical for January, red-throated divers have dominated offshore with 3-figure counts on 7 days, maximum of 728 on the 16th. Flybys have been spectacular at times as passing boats have moved the rafts offshore ahead of them, totals of 150 plus in less than 5 minutes being not unusual. The supporting cast included a great northern diver and 2 Slavonian grebes on the 19th, plus a few great crested grebe, common scoter with a peak of 48 on the 9th, guillemot and razor. The more unsettled weather at the start of the month produced some good kittiwake movement with peaks of 68 on the 4th and 131 on the 7th, plus little gulls with 5 on the 6th and 2 on the 7th. And also on the 7th, a peak gannet count of 15. The only other sight of note was 4 white-fronted geese that went north on the 20th. And he said he's looking forward to the first signs of spring movement in about a month's time, hopefully. That's good. Got at Holland Haven, just down the road from Frinton, 3 hooper swan have been there regularly. This is Mike O'Hannon's shot of a couple of them. It's a family group. It's 2 adults and a young bird. Nice. Also at Holland Haven, the resident firecrest seems to have been there forever now, doesn't it? It's been there for a long while. Doing really well there. 3 Slavonian grebes. Stephen Entwistle reported them off Mersey, as well as 2 great northern divers and an eider that we managed to see today, didn't we? We bumped into Steve as well.
That was good. Yep.
Really good to see Steve and catch up. And we've got pale-bellied and black brant, both strains of or subspecies of Brent goose. And Brian Combs has got a nice picture here of the pale-bellied Brents. And also at Stanway Pits, there's been at least 10 Caspian gulls and 11 red kite. That's just down the road from you, Steve.
It is,
so,
yep, local patch.
Go and have a look, well worth looking at. And then on New Year's Day at Rabness, there was a velvet scoter, 2 great northern divers reported. and as just as a kind of an interest, really, Pete Newton out in Little Clacton, he does ringing, and he trapped a starling that had been ringed about a year or so previous as a young bird, and it was ringed all the way in Russia. So that's traveled 1,346 kilometers to get to his garden, which is pretty amazing.
That's amazing.
Final bird report from the Naze again. Brian Combs, beautiful spotted redshank. Look at that bird. That's just
that's a nice one.
Stunning. Absolutely stunning. And very quickly, while we're talking about the Naze, I just want to share, if I've got it on the screen ready to go, which I think I have. Hold on. Here we go. Right, not going to read this all out, but I think everyone knows Daryl Stiles' name, and he does the Naze basically pretty much religiously, doesn't he, every single day. And I think he popped all his sightings for last year, all his key sightings for last year onto the website at the beginning of this year. So for anyone that's seen sightings on the 4th of January, that's the reason. I think he just put them all on one day as records from last year. But just look down this list, just some of the things he's seen there. Barred warbler, bee eater, common rosefin, get a golden oriole, dusky warbler, gargany, hen harrier, Lapland buntings, long-eared owl, 6 long-eared owls.
Wow.
Mandarin duck, that's a good record there. Long-tailed duck, Pallas's warbler, pallid swift, 52 pied flycatchers, Rad's warbler. I think Glenn Moore found the Rads actually, didn't he? Yeah, Roozle, shorelark, snow buntings, twite, velvet scoter, waxwing, wood sandpiper, wryneck, and yellow-browed warbler ×5. 13.
Wow, well done, Daryl.
So mega work from Daryl. And thanks for sharing all of that on the website. It just goes to show that if you kind of, we were talking about this today, weren't we?
Yeah.
If you get out there, you will see stuff.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
You won't see anything sitting at home. And do you know what? We said in the last, that getting out birding is so good for your mental health. We've got stuff going on. Get out birding, just fresh air, wildlife.
Definitely.
Stuff. Amazing.
I 100% agree with that. Right, just very quickly as well, John Ward's video, I forgot to mention this earlier, he said most of it was filmed on Mersey, but the other sites he saw those wonderful birds were Copthall, Castle Park for the kingfisher, Abberton was the mute on ice, and Wallasey for the hungry kestrel. So yeah, thanks, John.
Well done, John. Well done.
Right, just to finish up then, so membership. I always forget the card, but yeah, you get all this stuff. It just costs £16. It's amazing. These publications alone, I know we bang on about it each month, but it's true. They're well worth the money. They are incredible. It's a really good community, isn't it, Steve?
Oh, do you know what? It's a brilliant thing to be part of. I mean, whether you watch us on YouTube, whether you come on our field trips, come to our evening meetings, or, because Matt and I, we're obviously out and about birding, and we bump into so many people, and a lot of people are members, but it's just great. If you're not a member, please join.
Yeah,
as Matt said, £16 for 20 quid's worth of publications just there.
Yep. We've got indoor talks. There's an indoor talk coming up next Friday, the 3rd of February in Chelmsford. The details are on the website. It's going to be really good. So if you can come along, please do. Starts at 8 o'clock in the evening, just costs a couple of quid or so to attend. The talk's being given by Pete Howe and from Project CamTag, and this is a project whereby they're developing a satellite tag for raptors that incorporates a camera. So there was a local buzzard, wasn't there, Steve? That
there's a buzzard being found shot just up the road from me here. And police are appearing for any information, but this sort of technology that Peter's developing, hopefully, will result in convictions for these people, because no one should be shooting buzzards or kites or poisoning stuff. So I don't understand it. There's no words for it. It's just ridiculous.
Just moronic, and then it's just crazy.
And Peter, who's doing the talk, had a stand at the bird fair back last year, and we went and saw one of his talks, and we were really impressed with it. So we donated some money for his project, because it's just such a worthwhile thing. So next Friday in Chelmsford.
Yeah,
and all the details all the details are on the website.
And also, if you subscribe to the mailing list, we'll be mail shotting more details about it over the next few days. So look out for that too. Also, field trips. We've got a field trip coming up to Rutland Water on the coach on the 19th of February. I'm not sure if this figure's up to date or not, but I know there's only a few seats left on the coach.
Yep.
So if you want to come to Rutland Water, I think we're both going, aren't we?
We're both going. Yep. So Matt and I will both be leading it. So
although probably shouldn't have mentioned that because that might be a reason for people not to come. But
no, I don't think so. I think your birding skills are all right.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, yours are certainly. And I promise not to play that limit thing, so you'll be okay. And yeah, just come along. If you haven't booked, please book. Contact Jerry. This is on our website. You go under events, field trips, contact details for Jerry at the top here. And just sign up for the coach. It's going to be a really good day. We've seen some good stuff up there before, and I'm sure there'll be some great stuff. We've also got Walthamstow Wetlands coming up in March, Fingering Hoe in April, Nep in May. So there's loads of trips. Don't forget to book your trips in advance because the coach ones are becoming full, but you can always go on a waiting list. So if you want to come to anything and it is full, put your name down on the waiting list and you never know, you might get lucky. I think that's about it. Unless you've got any more messages.
There's Pete Dwyer, her membership. So he said you get a pin badge as well with your membership money. So there you go. So even more stuff for your cash. So you can't go wrong. What have we got? Graham Lawrenson said, thanks to you both. Excellent. So thanks, Graham. Yeah, thanks for everyone's feedback. You know, we do appreciate it. Vince Briggs, thanks, guys. Keep birding. We'll try.
We'll try, yeah.
What else we got?
Richard said, excellent show apart from that awful intermission music.
Okay. There's no accounting for taste, is there? So
that's hilarious. I think Frankie Robertson, I don't know if you read that one out already, but he's coming on to Walthamstow on the 12th of March.
Okay, I haven't seen that. So yeah, that'd be good. Nice to meet Frankie. Yep. Mick Woodruff, great show as always, Matt and Steve. So thanks, Mick.
Thanks, Mick. Thanks for watching.
What else have we got? And Dave Webb says, great to get out. Great. I can't read that.
But at home birding this last week, he's had sparrowhawk and great spotted woodpecker on the feeder. Not at the same time, I wouldn't have thought. That'd be interesting. And grey wagtail in his back garden every day since Christmas. Blimey.
That's nice.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's really good, isn't it? So, yeah, it's amazing how these birds are normally out in the countryside come into gardens in the winter because obviously there's food and shelter and which is really good. And then Jonathan Norgate says, thanks both. See you soon. So yeah, thanks for that, John. That's
yeah, cheers, John. See you soon, mate.
He's off to Thailand like any day soon. So he's like,
excellent.
He'll come back with a nice suntan and a big bird list, probably.
I'm sure he will. Yeah, I'll wait to see a load of pictures on Twitter and stuff. So yeah, it'll be good. I think that's about it, really. We've gone a little bit over, and apologies again for the technical issues. I'm going to try and talk to my internet provider
they're all
before.
Coming in now, so yeah.
Oh, sorry.
There's Jan Dell says, brilliant. Sarah Henson Webb, thanks, Matt and Steve. Great job as always.
Thanks, Sarah.
Sarah, much appreciated. And thanks for the carrot cake yesterday. Never mind.
What?
Don't ask. Bit of carrot cake.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not happy about this. This isn't good. Carrot cake.
Carrot cake, mate. Very tasty.
Unbelievable.
Sorry. I'll take you next time.
It's a shame you can't pass me a piece through the magic of the internet.
Through the medium of the And then Martin Gathercole says, thanks guys, see you out in the field soon. So yeah, thanks to everyone that's been watching tonight. And I say we're probably rattled on for 2 hours. Most people are probably asleep. If not, you should be asleep.
Okay, well, we'll try and get this uploaded. It looks like on my computer it's recording in 2 halves now as well, which is going to be really interesting. So
sort of join it in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, I'll join it in the middle. I'll put the limits in the middle again for 3 minutes. Everyone seems to love that so much.
Sarah said next time, Matt, for the cake.
Oh, sounds good. Thank you.
He's up. Excellent. There you go.
Look forward to that. Right, okay, I think that's about it really. So thank you all very much for watching. We've really enjoyed doing it, and what a good start to the year. Oh, totals. What's your total?
Well, do you know what?
What are you on?
100.
What do I?
Hold on, quickly, let me tell you my Essex list, because I haven't been, hold on, where are we going? On just 2 seconds.
Oh my goodness, I'm trying to get mine up as well here.
128 for the year in Essex.
Oh, okay, I think I'm on 124 for the year in Essex. And I
Good.
think 130, including a few Suffolk birds. So you're beating me. Well done.
Do you know, it's all a bit. We were saying today with Steve Entwistle over on Mersey that, do you know, it's all a bit of fun, and it just gets you out birding. And as we keep saying, it's good for you. You know,
It does. I think whatever you can use to get yourself outside, and it doesn't have to be just birding. You can just go for a walk, get a pair of binoculars, look at nature, just enjoy the fresh air and, you know, sights and sounds of nature and being outside. And yeah, I mean, for me, seeing how many birds I can find, it's just a bit of fun, but it does give you an incentive to get out. Although, yeah, I don't think you've done your twitching in the past, haven't you, Steve?
someone said earlier, I've done twitching in the past, and do you know, I far more enjoy. I mean, obviously, I'm bird watching for my job, which I'm very lucky about. But do you know what? It's just so much more pleasure not rushing around and just seeing what you see. You know, it's not always about the rare stuff.
Yep. And like Richard's done, I mean, you know, public transport and on foot, and you can see the birds are there. Stuff's out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant. Right. Thank you, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
We'll see you next month. Come to the indoor meeting, come to the field trip, and we'll see you out and about. Take care.
On YouTube next month.
Let me just see if I can work out how to end this. There we go. Right. Bye. Bye.
Hey, everyone. See you later. Bye.